His leg was slashed to the bone. The medic screamed, "He's got gangrene!" His captain begged him to evacuate. He pushed the morphine needle away and said 5 words that would define heroism. "Captain, you're going to need me." 3 days later, Staff Sergeant Ruben Rivers was dead. But his Medal of Honor? The U.S. Army made him wait 50 years because he was black. This is the story of the Black Panthers of World War II, the 761 Tank Battalion that General Patton requested by name, that fought 183 consecutive days in combat, that earned 11 Silver Stars and 69 Bronze Stars, and how America repaid their sacrifice with 50 years of silence. If you think you know World War II history, you're missing the most important chapter. Smash that follow button right now, because Ikamafuna History TV is about to expose the heroes they erased from history. October 31st, 1918. Ruben Rivers was born to Willie and Lillian Rivers in Tecumseh, Oklahoma. According to Wikipedia and National Park Service records, he grew up in nearby Hotulka with 11 brothers and sisters working on the family farm. In 1930, they moved to Earlsboro. After high school, Rivers worked on the railroad, 6 feet 2 inches tall, strong, and ready for whatever came next. When America entered World War II, Rivers and 2 of his brothers joined the armed forces in 1942. According to Black Past historical records, Ruben was the only one assigned to a combat unit. He was sent to the newly formed all-black 761 Tank Battalion at Camp Claiborne, Louisiana. And here's where the story gets real. According to the National WWWI Museum documentation, the 761 was housed in the segregated section of Camp Claiborne, about a mile from the front gate, where roads were rutted dirt. They lived in molding canvas tents next to the camp's sewage treatment area. White soldiers mocked them. Local whites terrorized them. They were training to fight Nazi racism while experiencing American racism every single day. But their commander, Major Paul Bates, drilled them so hard that nobody could question their combat ability. By the time they deployed, according to Army reviews, the 761 was one of the best tank units in stateside service. June 9th, 1944. 3 days after D-Day, the 761 got news they never thought possible. They were shipping out to combat in Europe. According to U.S. National Park Service records, on October 10, 1944, Staff Sergeant Rivers set foot on Omaha Beach. The 761st Tank Battalion became part of General George S. Patton's U.S. Third Army. Patton personally requested them. They were going to break through the Siegfried Line, protecting Germany's industrial heartland. Rivers, now commanding a tank platoon in Able Company, would cover 400 miles in just 6 days. November 8, 1944. According to the Congressional Medal of Honor Society documentation, the 761st joined the 104th Infantry and 26th Infantry Division in an attack on German positions near Vic-sur-Seille in northeastern France. As they approached the town on a narrow road, Germans blocked it with a fallen tree and landmines. Then they opened fire on the stranded infantry trapped in roadside ditches. Rivers was positioned in the lead tank. He could have waited for orders. Instead, he dismounted his tank, while Germans fired at him, attached a cable to the tree, and moved it off the road. The battalion could proceed. The town was captured. For this action, Rivers was awarded the 761st's first Silver Star, November 16, 1944. 8 days later, according to the National WWWII Museum archives, Rivers led another assault toward the town of Guebling. As his lead tank entered, it struck a mine at a railroad crossing. The explosion was devastating. Rivers' leg was slashed to the bone. His captain, David J. Williams, rushed to him with morphine. Williams later recounted the moment. "I said, 'Ruben, you're going back. You've got $1 million wound. You're getting out of this. You got a Silver Star and a Purple Heart.' He says, 'Captain, you're going to need me.' I said, 'I'm giving you a direct order. You're going back.' He pushed the needle away and got up. He said, 'This is one order. The only order I'll ever disobey. According to Medal of Honor citation records, Rivers declined the morphine injection, refused evacuation, took command of another tank, and advanced with his company into Guebling the next day. For 3 days, with his leg wound festering, Rivers continued to direct his tank's fire at enemy positions. November 18, 1944. According to National Withdrawal Museum testimony, Captain Williams found Rivers still in action. A medic examined the wound and screamed, "Listen, he's got gangrene!" Williams begged Rivers to evacuate. "Captain, you know better than that," Rivers said. "This is going to be tough. Another 2 days won't make any difference." German guns opened fire again, forcing them to take cover. Williams would never speak to Rivers again. November 19, 1944. According to World War II database records, at dawn, Company A's tanks advanced toward Bougaltroff. The Germans were ready with heavy tanks and anti-tank guns. Williams ordered the tanks to pull back. Rivers radioed back, "I see 'em. We'll fight 'em." According to official military records, Rivers and one other tank opened fire on the German positions, covering Company A's withdrawal. In the process, Rivers' tank was fully exposed. The Germans trained their fire on him. 2 direct hits with high explosive shells. Rivers was killed instantly along with his crew. Captain Williams immediately recommended Rivers for the Medal of Honor on November 20, 1944. But according to Wikipedia's historical documentation, of the 433 Medals of Honor awarded to World War II servicemen, not one went to a black American, even though over 1 million served in the armed forces. In 1993, the U.S. Army contracted Shaw University to research if there was racial disparity in the Medal of Honor selection process. Shaw's team found there was disparity. They recommended 10 soldiers for consideration. 7 were recommended to receive the award. January 13, 1997. According to Congressional Medal of Honor Society records, President Bill Clinton presented the Medal of Honor to 7 black World War II heroes in a White House ceremony, 53 years late for Ruben Rivers. His surviving sister, Grace Woodfolk, received it on his behalf. Vernon Baker was the only recipient still alive to receive his award in person. Here's the quote that captures this injustice. From Rivers's Medal of Honor citation, "For conspicuous gallantry and intrepidity at the risk of his life above and beyond the call of duty." But America's answer was 50 years of silence. So here's my question for you. How many other black heroes died waiting for recognition they earned with their blood? Drop your answer in the comments. Tell me, did you know the 761st Tank Battalion fought for 183 consecutive days in combat? And here's the real question. If Ruben Rivers pushed away morphine and said, "Captain, you're going to need me," with his leg slashed to the bone, what does that say about the courage America tried to erase? Share this with someone who needs to know these heroes existed. Hit that like, drop a comment about Ruben Rivers, and follow Ikamafuna History TV because we're bringing back the heroes they buried. When we remember the sacrifice, we honor the debt we owe.